heavy outside control, surfing on the top of that mini rooftop as the bomb is going to be over towards the outside area. Now leaning towards lower. Nico able to grab a good kill on the far leg, but Sticko now getting Locker's control. Might be able to cut off some rotations, and it's going to maybe free up the T's to start getting this lower bomb side control. But as I say that,
rattle off a few shots, sees a player dipping down into the vents. Oh, that's a beautiful one tap from Valder as well. Nullifying Zen. Bomb has been planted at the backside of the site, but when you consider that there's still 5 of OG remaining, it's so hard to see how Sunny and Madden can hold on. And Alexi's dual barrette is rip through 3.
Pretty well.
You did. It looked good.
Oscar nomination incoming for sure.
Definitely. Mantu and Alexi have both shipped in with kills. And yeah, the lack of buy, a little bit of a head scratch. A lot of teams would go for Galil's, but maybe just trying to prioritize the AWP as soon as possible on far leg. Valder is just going to rattle. Now there has been a fast rotation from the CTs as well, so they can hold in position. It is the low Issa. It's on double doors, but now Valder and Alexi B have joined the call. Down goes Issa. Madden sprays in for another one. And FPX looking great now. After having not sustained any losses, OG have only posted up 1 frag in this round post-plant. And I do also wonder, with their economy not quite in that stabilized position yet.
And then they're able just to kind of swarm from that point forward and really just kind of lock it down. And as you said, all that OG can hope to do now is just save rifles, which Valda's doing a very good job of, by the way. Might even be able to swap into the AK if he so chooses. So they will go ahead and get an M4 onto Nico, but Valda does fall.
Smoke is really connecting. There will be a post-plant already coming into play. Looking very good for FPX to pick up yet another one. Zen nullifies Alexi and gets a second and a third as well. But these are, of course, eco frags by and large. The player really with anything was Mantu, and he's been dealt the fatal blow before Velda springs in with 1, and he is quickly repelled. So the lead now taken.
Just whatever the case may be, it just is going to put that strain on them. As, you know, now that they have it, FPX are content just to kind of sit back and let OG stew on it a bit. But now we see the slow down on Mini, and Maiden's looking for an entry in upper sight.
May very well get it. Catches a glimpse of Nico, who did get one before he fell down, and doing so, Madden was caught in a couple of awkward positions. So 3v2, OG have the advantage, and they're actually going to lock it down in the blink of an eye. They 2 of them will be looking to try and get some early control down. Meanwhile, the rest of them, though, will be wrapping through round. Mantu is here, waiting with York, misses his shot. He has Issa alongside him, who misses everything.
Oh, no.
There's a team kill in there as well. I'm not quite sure what happens. Nico takes Farlig down in the back of the head. It's a 3-on-3 and just carnage.
Nico's doing the smart thing by making sure he controls Hut and knowing that he can like, focus on so many angles at once. But Alexa B, that's a big kill, catching this sweep under heaven. Zen able to trade, gets it back to a 2-on-2. But again, I feel like Nico's playing this pretty smart, and it's still giving OG a chance.
30 seconds, but Zen has been splattered by Mantu's AWP. And Madden will get pretty close to Mantu. Again, watching ramp, different angle. Same result, missing his first shot. But as he said, just being blocks and 1 deagle, it's going to be a massacre. And, I was going to say, Issa probably should clean this up. Honestly, 2 kills is already a W in my mind, considering the lack of weaponry they came out with. And maybe Zen can make it a bit more costly. Alexi says no.
Huge gap here, by the way, so there's been a bit of a miscommunication on smoke placement, just not allowing Sunny to get that crossover to Secret that he normally has been getting. And Val has already found a kill in the Sticko and is deep now in Squeaky Hall, so this is actually worrisome for FPX. This is great news for OG.
Gives him a fast pincer point as well to get round the back of them. There's Mantu, not sticking, or I should say, is sticking the landing, and gets his second one as well. He'll go down as Issa was ring around the box, and that cost Mantu. Now this is where that loose cannon, the Mad Dog himself, Madden, may very well be called upon to just do something crazy. He does it so often, but his aim lets him down. He is one of those players that lives or dies by the sword, by his aggression. Sunny goes in.
Oh, no.
Looking much better. The spray through the smoke is on point, and Alexi goes down. Sticko elsewhere, systematically just taking players down left and right. And Nico, the man with a lot of points to prove, well, he's left standing in a 1-on-4.
That's so tough. That was a great pickup in Mini, and then a great incendiary on Squeaky to stop FPX from being able to make any progress on upper. Again, it's going to take FPX just making a big shot, a big play, to somehow open this round back up.
Time dwindling away, and there's no flashes, no smokes to proceed the push, and they have to deal with this. Zen can't move too far backwards, otherwise he dies to the Molotov. And that puts him in the firing squad. 10 HP left on the Finn, and 4 players with 23 seconds. Just doesn't even have control over the bomb. At least sprays into Nico, makes this a bit more costly for OG. Another headshot comes in. Surely this isn't possible. The Molotov will at least fend away the player down in vent, but he's not going to be checking his left-hand side, and he is gone. He may even get knifed. There we go. Stabby stab from Alexi. And there's no love between the early. I feel like there's every chance they win this because it's very top-sided in terms of him. He's on 20 kills already. He gets forced out and sprayed down. That's exactly what they were looking for. Now Nico stuck at the back of the site, pulls out the HE. There's flashbangs actually save his life, and there's a bit of spray coming out from main as well. Now Nico can hold his ground, getting warm before Mantu chips in with the AWP.
And we'll pivot over to kind of keep an eye on Heaven. So it's all going to come down to whether or not OG can break through. They do have some utility to use.
HE banks off the wall, does significant damage to Sunny, but Zen's position is too good alongside Stiko, and Mantu now has to pull the plug, tap out, and go save his AWP.
FPX, right? I mean, they get solid ramp room control, they get it clean, they don't lose anyone, and what it does is it forces OG to have to commit, trying to get back into Mini safely around that smoke. He's able to do just that. Mantu gets a nice opening shot, and he's able to get away, and he feels that threat from that top silo. Meanwhile, Issa's gotten a pick elsewhere on the map. I believe that was probably ramp room. So another quick 5-on-3 here for OG. They've had so many of these, Vince. And it's so hard to come back from this if you're on the FPX side.
And a lot of those picks have been from Mantu's hands. You've got to give him a lot of credit. You've got to give OG a lot of credit.
This is a big moment you have to imagine, especially for the side of FPX. They really need this to steer it close as soon as possible, as we are going to see an upper explosion here from OG.
Falling at the back of the site will need to land some shots, and it's gone begging as Nico and Issa put down the bodies with 2 frags. Alexi also with a headshot through the smoke just to add insult to injury. And now Stiko and Madden nuke.
Sometimes you got to play the heel, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fully.
I would know it all too well.
Sure. Madden knows Valda's Glock all too well as the bullet pass
is going to be pretty slim pickings as far as what resources they'll even have, as we are going to see the upper take, and Issa hits a blinder on the Sunny. Mollies are down, Maiden rotating, but only to meet his demise. And again, OG have such a quick 5-on-3. The opening picks have just been favoring OG just the vast majority of the game. They survive with, like 3 or more members. Many rounds where they've survived with 4 or 5 players. I mean, in this half, they've only lost.
Odo Madden downstairs alongside Farley, 2 of the weaker players with a Deagle and MP9, but Farley still sticks the shot. He will go down. No, he won't actually. He gets a second frag. That's unreal. And he gets a third on top of it. Out of nowhere, Farley has sprung into action and is just straight up running through OG. Where was this earlier on in the half?
Yeah, and he has a read that there's more as well aggressing through that lobby position. He's staying safe on this roof side, and he's able to find yet another on the far leg. So Vince, name a more iconic duo than OG in an opening 5-on-3 situation.
OG in winning the round, unless Deco can just pull the rabbit out of the hat. First kill does go his way. A bit labored, but finally gets it done. However, his position is now known, and he has to deal with Nico. He has a good read of this scenario, though. He has a good understanding as to where these players could be, but that's only half the struggle. And on top of that, post-plant is always going to be in an awkward position. Exactly, one of the first times that we can say that FPX have had an advantage. And now they need to hold on to this advantage. Zen with a good spray. Farley changing up the angles. Very aggressive angle with the ult, but it's worked out for him. Love to see that. He burns alive, but Zen is there to pick up the pieces. And it's looking good that FPX at least will survive with 1 more. And Valda, well, he's a dead man.
They're getting even more now. Let's be meant to actually sneaking through towards under heaven. Like, this is a nightmare for FPX. Luckily, though, they're able to get aggressive and squeaky and find a couple of kills thanks to Maiden. Nico does trade it back, but still advantage for FPX.
And bless some of these FPX players with a barrage of bullets.
I was waiting for a Freddy Krueger reference to come in at some point there. It was brewing. It's not going to come to fruition. Alexa B, though, does get the read on the top HUT player, but that flash did not help him out there. Nico was trying to get him an advantage with the pop flash. Didn't quite pan out. Stiko comes up through.
Yeah, Maiden's locked it down elsewhere. Now Stiko can fall back to the site. 20 seconds to play with good flashbang, but no follow-up damage just yet. Mantu goes in on Madden. Will they check this angle? Well, if they weren't before, now they definitely will. And Stiko survives longer than I anticipated, but finally does meet his fate. Farley with the Deagle. 8 seconds to play with. Can he deny the bomb plant? No, goes in a bit too aggressive and gets killed. Zen can deny the bomb plant. He could just win this round. It's all down to Zen. And just purely off timing, he gets it done and keeps FPX afloat. have been mounting a comeback. It's not a full buy. They're going to decide to dip down to just Valder on the hero buy, and why the hell not? Because he's capable of doing that. Just running straight in, getting the first kill.
Indeed, he might not be done yet. Never mind, Sunny will silence him, but it's at a huge cost, down to 1 health, but no one's been able to trade it yet, and Farlig's found this pick outside, so...
They assuredly do. Madden playing an angle we haven't really seen FPX perched in just yet. Does get the drop onto Nico. That's the bomb that goes with him. Farlig, oh, this is a little bit scary, but still connects it onto Alexi. And goes back in for seconds and keeps himself alive.
I think they got the bomb planted as fast as you possibly could on lower site.
Definitely feels that way. Means that there's 2 incendiaries and plenty of flashes left at their disposal as Alexi goes in. Stiko and Sunny, though, are both chipped in with kills. Matu's going to hold the line onto Stiko. The bomb is starting to get diffused right now. Valder needs to peek this. He needs to deal with this. Otherwise, it will just get diffused right under their noses. And even though Valder is putting many bodies down in the dirt, yeah, we said that 11-12 round mark is where we start to believe, and we've reached that point. But more importantly, FPX are beginning to believe. Their confidence is spiking. Their aim is on point. These are jewels that they were losing so often earlier in the match. And Alexi can only post up 1 frag. Yeah, and that's the aspect you've got to give FPX a lot of credit for. That they've dealt with a lot of different sides and takes from OG. They haven't been one-dimensional. They've tried aggression. They've tried outside control, and everything's been thwarted. Again, Zen in the right position at the strike. He puts down the first frag. Goes in for more. Doesn't quite get it, but Alexi will be forced into an A hit. They will ride or die on this decision, and Madden in a perfect position. Oh, this setup is looking way too solid, but that first kill is huge. And Stiko with the up and over grenade does a lot of damage, softens up a few targets, changes his position. Stiko now needs to hold on, and Mantu gets 1, but that will not be good enough. And if he dies after time as well, this just goes from bad to worse. 3 seconds to play with. He holds his ground. They will be conceding the round, OG. It's like Mantu will at least save his AWP.
4 rounds or something like that. It has been just crazy to see them really keep their composure and grind their way back. They've been aggressive and assertive on the CT side. It's gone well, but not this round. Alexa B, 2 huge entries back to OG 5v3. It's been a bit since we've had that situation come up, but it is here now, right in a key moment.
OG rushing straight downstairs. How many times do we see this? A comeback to 15-14, and then you lose. The classic. It's not over just yet. Stiko perched up above the bomb plant, tries to deny it, but goes down to the hands of Issa, and now Farlig out in the open and awkward positions, gone down to Valder. It's looking good that OG will finally, after so many opportunities, after so many hurdles that they have slipped, tripped, and face planted over, it looks like they may be getting this wrapped up at 16-14. Sunny, try as he may, has to pull off a 1 versus 4 clutch. He has the AK-47, he has full HP, and he has a bit of utility, but that fuse on the bomb is ticking so quickly. He's a bit more damage to Mantu, that's all well and good, but the time itself is going to work against him. It's effectively a 1v3 in that respect. Down goes the smoke, tickles the bomb, spray out. He has to just hope for the best. It's not going to happen. OG will be taking the map, but my God, was it labored.
Indeed, it was. You have to applaud the comeback. He'll be starting out on the CT side this time around, so I think that's going to be a big head-to-head Mantu versus Farlig.
Well, we're going to have a big head-to-head in Connector. Many bodies in there, and it's OG that are holding their nerve and holding their ground.
Yeah, and the bomb is unfortunately down in a very rough position for OG to recover, but Mantu on this backstab from the upper stairs finds his man. Farlig gets quick to trade back. Nico tries to swing off of it. Now he's being pinched. He gets his man, though, turns around and almost pulled off something ludicrous.
Seeding that first map and, you know, taking a lot of energy and a lot of focus and still conceding the map's going to be brutal. It's going to be carnage. It's going to be mayhem. You're expecting to see this with effectively full-on Glocks. And the tactical nuke has landed and does get picked off. Good flash, though, with the peek. There's another player here. It's going to be Sunny with the AUG, and he's done his job. Issa elsewhere. Silencing Zen.
To a retake from FPX, and they are very low on 2 of their players.
Very low post plant comes in. Slight gap in the smoke will yield an opportunity for Mantu to get 1. He wants to try and double up. This could be the end of the round if he can get that secondary frag, but here comes Farlig through heaven with the AUG. And the spray's on point, but they still don't know where Issa and Velda are exactly. It would stand to reason that one would be short, one would be monster. And Farlig with the insta-headshot, looking for more, doesn't get it. Issa's trying to play time. Both players are very low. Next bullet may very well finish this round, and it comes from Madden.
Farlig at bank, just trying to hold the angle and wait for his team to rotate.
8 seconds, putting the move on, flashes are good, and the follow-up damage is there as well. 4 seconds to play with, they could maybe get this plant down, and Farlig tries to wall bang through the box. 2 on 3, but now the wraparound from Stiko. He's not got kills, but information gathered, and he softened up both targets. But Alexi has the M4 close, does tag Farlig.
Ooh.
But Farlig with double... Yeah, with the trifecta of players that are waiting for them, you'd fancy FPX, but they've lost the first. And Farlig, that's the up that goes with him. Good flashbang. Velda was fully flashed and gets taken down by the hands of Madden. 25 seconds, fast rotation as well. Coming to the forefront. It's looking grim for OG. They may be able to get this plant down, but it's a cost to another couple of players. Now it's all down to Issa, and Issa will fall to Zen. 5-0.
And they haven't really allowed FPX any intel to start rotating this side.
Farlig again strikes. 33 seconds. They're pushing up long. That's where the bulk of the aggression will be coming in from. And Farlig no-scopes Velda. He did get a quick-fire headshot onto Madden, which makes A-side a little bit easier to take, but they still need to deal with the AWPer, and Nico does it in style. Double smokes down onto Dumpster and Bank that allows them the safe passage of a plant for Bank side. They need to make sure they don't get sprayed through the smoke. For just a pixel to execute off, to give his team a chance to pick up a 6th in a round. Sonny goes in onto Alexi. This may put them into an awkward position, but he's been spotted. The bomb planted for Bank is going to make this so much more difficult, but Sonny comes back in. The bomb's not really planted for Mantu, but at least he can go for that wide swing, and in doing so, he does give his side up, but Sonny can't punish him. The Glock comes out, and even though Sonny picks up the frag, I'm not sure there's enough time. It's going to be exceptionally close. Does he just about have it? No! A millisecond away. Not being finished off by Farlig, so that would have been an excellent start for FPX. Madden again getting aggressive, and Nico's been caught. Not for the first time that FPX have gone for that play. So surely that's something OG are watching out for. Madden just continues to press forward. Now he's going to decide to back away, realizing that connector is maybe more of an issue.
So I think Nico got tagged off screen, and we just thought it was Farlig's op that got the tag, because Nico died over towards Playground, so I got kind of confused there for a second. Either way, Nico's off the board. 4-on-4 situation. The rest of OG looking to commit towards B, but the CT positioning here, flanking through blue, is going to be a problem, and Zin has found his man.
Flashes are good, but Farlig's aim is up to the task. And with his frag, it alleviates the pressure for Madden to go ahead and get the headshot and a secondary one behind it. And that adds to the first, which is a 3K in total. OG, understandable that they want to just try and swarm the site and overwhelm these CTs. They've done just to 10. Farlig, though, of course, connects his shot. His only opportunity so far, and his teammates are falling around him. He's still alive. He needs to pull another huge round out the bag. Otherwise, OG may be picking up 2. They've lost Nico, though, and Stiko's going in for more. Tag down to 11, but Valda's pretty low on top of that. He does have an M4 by his side, but now he's last man standing. Has to whip the Deagle out, missing the first couple of shots and doesn't get it done. Farlig, again, the hero of it.
Maximize its utility. They only have basic utility left to actually execute the side, so they have to commit to it. That's what they're looking for here over on A side, but Farlig and company are up to the task, and they are defending perfectly.
Once again, doing no wrong. Issa, though, is the one component on long that's now shown himself. It is a 2-on-3. HP favoring FPX. Manpower favoring FPX. And more so now that Stiko has found himself another one. And Sonny on the spray will deal with Issa pushing. What we'd have to feel will be a lot of pain and misery, and only on pistols. Out they come, spilling onto the site. The lineup for Zen, so much damage, and they're running over Molotovs. They're running into a barrage of bullets. It's every bit the massacre that we expected. I'm even surprised they got 1 kill.
A lot of time here. They don't have any utility. They have 1 smoke fence. If one thing goes wrong, they're ruined.
And Farlig is here, and he's waiting. Chomps down onto Alexi, and he's still hungry. He's not been satiated fully. 3 kills to Farlig. And the round falls apart. 20 seconds on that rotation, and it just wasn't ever really looking likely, especially running into an
Started slamming on the gas pedal here towards the end of this first half.
The aggression, and Stiko with a triple spray and a 4 through the smoke. And they did force into this round. OG came out with weapons, and it's the same result. It's just done faster. Destroyed.
Yeah, that's now 5 rounds in a row. one with 3 or more players still alive. So, I mean, they've been able to turn that ship around quite some time ago. Now we finally have an opening pick on the A side of the map here from Nico. He's been testing the waters there a couple of times, and this actually catches Sticko on the aggression at short B. So hold the phone. All of a sudden, OG has something going their way.
Finally something to get excited about, but Zen is quickly going to shut that one down. Looking to douse out the flames of a potential comeback of OG. Still not done. They're not across the finish line of round 14. Farlig is in the right position again. He is just outmaneuvering OG at every given turn, and Madden is already around the back of them. Down through Monster. Mantu takes the head off, but now Mantu can get himself on the receiving end of a battering. He did tag Madden, though.
This timing is unreal. The fact that Madden's been able to slip back over towards Graffiti. Oh, that's... Yeah, it's 2 rounds in a row. Nico's been able to get the opening pick at A and give his team some options. And now it looks like they're going to be able to get a favorable situation here at B. They now have a 3-on-1. Fallen trying to fight back, but I don't know if he can do it, Vince. He's got such low health.
Reason for OG to go for this one. Have the advantage in terms of their positioning. Farlig comes out. This would be the... Watch this, but he can't. Well, quite the turn of events. They are getting battered right now, 12-3. Maybe they can manage to pull a bit of a comeback off, and if they're going to do so, it has to start with a pistol, and it's Alexis leading by example. It's 3 kills. He goes down, though. Farlig and Madden both get frags, but now Nico from the back will strike, and OG
starting to reclaim, and now he has to get away, and the MP9 gonna be tough to use at this distance, but he does find Zen. Nico's gone down. He's stranded. He's trying to scramble out of there, but Farlig not going to allow that to come to pass, and now all of a sudden...
Does that molly extend fully enough to deal with Valda? I don't think it does. I think he can actually just stay on the bank. I think he can just get the easy kill, and the smoke's actually made this a one-way. It's gone horribly wrong. FPX had every opportunity to just instantly bounce back into this half, and instead, Sonny on 12 HP has to just pull the plug.
4-on-3, based on the way that they're able to exchange their way into Fountain late. This is so odd of an angle for Nico to not have the op support behind him. I hope Mantu comes over to help him with the bait and switch, but I guess it won't be required. He'll just get the win.
Smoke. Oh, the timing. Farlig will not be missing that chance. Mantu now in the same position where Farlig was having so much success and so much leeway. Alexi B spotting that there is a gap in the smoke and makes the most of it. And now OG look to try and rummage together. Not even a retake. That hasn't been afforded the luxury across the FPX. Farlig does connect with the AK for a headshot, but that
of Mantu can maybe still catch them as they're trying to cross sight. Oh, never mind. They did actually smoke for heaven, but there's a gap in it, Vince.
Which is worse than there being no smoke.
Yes.
Because that baits them into feeling like they're safe, and Mantu just gets 2 kills from a result of that. And that's the sloppiness that you're talking about, Dust. Right there and then. That maybe cost them the round. It's still not quite over just yet. There's an AWP and Galil and a Deagle. They're trying to desperately get their hands back on the bomb, but it puts them in an awkward spot before 2 kills back to back. Madden and Farlig both chip in, and now Madden in a 1-on-2 with 8 seconds to play with gets nullified by Mantu. And right then and there, waiting in bathroom, he is all alone. If they get a well-placed flashbang, this position could be dealt with. He's already turned his back. He sees the shadow. There's one, and a second. The bomb's been dropped down. He's done his job. Even if he dies now, he's done more than enough for his teammates.
Indeed, he has. He drops the smoke down. Flash comes in. Zen trying to punish him. Does get the pick, sure, but it's still a 2v4 at the end of the day.
Yep.
That makes the 7 in a row even worse.
Quite a damning stat, isn't it? And a lot of those players that were eerily quiet in the first half have really come alive. Zen pushing through onto the site was always going to be trying to die before the end of time. Obviously,
like this is just a crapshoot by.
All the tries he made through the smoke hasn't actually landed a single bullet, but Molotov behind, he gets extinguished, but awkward in terms of utility. Now the flashes do also connect with some bullets, and Sonny just walks out with a MAC-10. Maybe the ruthless aggression is what they were looking for after all. B-site has looked a little bit vulnerable at times, and Stiko successfully with the bomb plant will have to fend off against Alexi, who tries to pivot round for a second one, and in comes Nico. He's been dealt a fatal blow, and out of nowhere,
it makes you really wonder if that's something that can really be replicated. But they might not have to, right? They're obviously able to win this round clean. They're able to start picking up some weapons. They're going to have... This is the round I feel like FPX need to go ahead and lock up, though, if they want to go ahead and get this thing done. They're going to go for the quad boost.
And
They
again,
got off
they've
that
just given
so
up.
early, and then they gave up so much map to do it. I mean, that's always the fear of doing that quad boost, but they did get the opening anyhow.
Yeah, the opening pick, and Zen gets a second one.
Wow. What is
said
going
this
on?
is the round they needed to tie up, and well, so far they've been locking it down. A third kill, Sonny in connector. And
What is going
Mantu
on?
and Issa have to try and somehow just get a frag, let alone the round, just get a kill on the board. Last two rounds have gone the way of FPX. Goes to show how one-sided the first half was. Issa trying to hold on to his M4, double spray. I don't think he can get up to
This
maybe
is
called upon.
Yeah, this is a scary spot to be. He's got no support.
If he can get 1 or 2 kills, it's going to be huge for his teammates. They don't even check the tree. They don't even check the angle. He can't double up, but he saw multiple players pushing long, and that is valuable information. 30 seconds on the horizon, bearing down on FPX. Can they hit 3 in a row? They just hit that golden streak when it counts, and Alexi's gone down. Valda keeps himself alive, but Stiko with his second consecutive frag on a huge entry tear.
You know, normally if you're going to be playing an angle like that, you have some type of bait and switch setup where maybe an op is going to be playing from the flower pots or something along those lines, and you're paying attention to that, and then Eco comes out and strikes, and you're able to kind of...
Yeah, Inferno is certainly beckoning right now. OG, Eagles MP9 looking to try and take aggression down connector. Understandable decision making, but they get in each other's way, and Madden punishes them. It's a 2-for-1, and that's nowhere near good enough for OG.
No, certainly not. It's looking quite dire indeed for them. Again, at least they won the first match, so they're guaranteed the third. But Mantu, he's trying to see if he can't keep them alive here on Overpass. A great pick at long. Gets it back into a 3-on-3, looking to try to maybe take a bit of a forward angle as well towards middle. He's also got Valda rotated up close on long A, who's trying to pick up a rifle, but may put him in a tough spot, or he may get caught with his pants down a bit, trying to throw some utility. Valda threatening him now with the AK, and he does find his man.
Does he overextend though? Because Stiko's there, he does! But it proves to be Stiko's unraveling, his undoing. And Farlig, 1 kill, 2 last weapons as well, OG. It does mean though that we go at least 1 more round, Dust.
But again, at this point, they could, you know, trip and fall over a victory, and that's all they need now that they're at 15. So we'll have to just kind of keep our eyes peeled. And well, Farlig finding Mantu that early is certainly a bad sign for OG.
Kill comes back from Alexi. Well, we said the same thing. In the last round, it was looking grim. It wasn't a 2v4 situation, though. Alexi, with his back to the wall, has been splattered by Madden. And the final curtain potentially coming down on Overpass. OG's choice is nigh on impossible. This would have to be a big error from FPX in their current positions if they let this one slip away. And Farlig fittingly puts the last nail in the coffin. We're heading to Inferno, 16-11 second map. And now OG will be lining up their grenades, forced with their backs against the wall to come out swinging. Smoke's now being put in. Molotov behind the new box, and Madden is burning. He's burning alive. He needs to get out of there. And he may be baited by Sonny. And if Sonny can get some kills, it'll be worthwhile. But he instantly gets decapitated by Alexi. And in doing so, OG have taken control of the site. Post-plant comes in. The smoke will be fading in just a few moments. And Zen, who was hoping to find a player transitioning to the backside of the site, there's now 3 of them in there. And without any incendiary, it's going to be so difficult to move them out of position. They don't even have flashbangs that they can toss in either. Basically, these 2 players for OG, unless they trip over each other, this should be a done deal. This should be locked in. Alexi B pushes the one giant step towards the win. And there is another one. Stiko tries as he may on 12 HP. He is living on borrowed time, and Valda will...
They just got to wait the utility out. And indeed, it seems to be the case.
Moving into the stack, though. Littered with plenty of threats, plenty of issues. Big entry, though, from Mantu, but that is the only kill they've picked up as of yet. And Madden can stay perched up on the box. It's a difficult position to deal with, but Alexi just takes the fight to him. That's because they had smoked off coffins in CT. It afforded them that luxury. They're still not completely out of this round. And keep in mind, the economy of the CTs is still in rough shape. But Zen on the coffins is going to pounce with his FAMAS. 3-1.
They are going to see OG putting no banana presence this time. They're actually going quick up A, and actually they picked the right time to do it because it's a triple B stack, and no one's rotated off of it yet, FPX.
Oh, and Zen gets pummeled through the smoke as well, which puts more pressure on Stiko. Nice shot onto Mantu. Posted up in middle. But he already knows that A site has been razed to the ground, and that bomb will be planted momentarily. The off angle from Valdo, waiting and anticipating the rotation to come in. The up shot misses from Farlig, but isn't fully punished. 3v3, Sticko has the positional advantage. However, because he got a kill in middle, they'd have a good idea that his position could very well be situated in apps. So I doubt the OG fall for this. They have Issa, who's in pit, that's likely looking up towards the balcony side, maybe mollied off by Sticko. Now, Molly has extended, so Issa has to move out, and in doing so, gives himself away. But
he is just in such a fragile state and has been for a couple of rounds now. Meanwhile, OG are flourishing at this point. Not sure. Looks like they just want to waterfall out apartments at this point, which is going to be tough. Sicko has a dangerous angle to cover this location.
The timing's so brutal, but he still survived, and Madden really helps him out. Bodyguards Sticko from just getting run down.
While knowing that their other teammate could keep tabs on Archway. And while you might fear the worst for Sicko because he had to pull out an incendiary right at the wrong time, Maiden was there to cover him, and that was all. Kind of be playing a little bit more for retake because of that, though they will maintain control of construction.
Smoke's coming down a little bit too late, though, and they'd already proceeded to push. The flashes didn't really have as much effect as they were hoping for, and now Sunny can bull back to New Box, where Molly is there waiting for him. Another flashbang up and over. This utility is absolutely on point from FPX, and it's kept OG stuck in the pool. They may be about to drown by bullets if they're not careful, because the smoke is now fading. Alexi nearly transitions for a double spray.
They still have no idea.
Valda. Say again, sorry?
I thought they didn't have any idea about this player in dark, but now they do.
They realize it. With 10 seconds to go, Valda has to go in for some kills. The spray is labored, but doesn't really matter. There's 5 seconds to play with, and he just has to save the AK-47. Other than that, though, it's been by and large fairly barren from FPX in the apps. So OG, they're getting a lot of free map control. It's a nice re-peek from Farlig, but does he peek one too many times? A 1-for-1 trade may not be good enough for the CTs. They need more behind this. Madden's hiding in the smoke, but his teammate's gone down, and now he will strike. Pivot in for 1. And a second, they're looking good with his crossfire, but his teammate, the Sticko's gone down. And mini pit that spray transfer, the correction just at the end. The stray bullet hits Nico in the head. It's a 1-on-2 clutch. Antu is edging back towards Graveyard, and Madden comes out with the AWP. Already sitting pretty. Farlig, 3 kills to his name. It does feel like each and every one of those kills has been vastly impactful, but again he gets caught out in the open. Zen pushes the smoke past Valda, then gets punished, and Sticko up on the balcony, not for the first time, is having to do everything by himself. He's having to somehow hold the site while everything else has been razed to the ground. And Sunny may get the drop timing onto Valda. Indeed he does. The HP advantage now actually edging in favor of FunPlus Phoenix.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for them. They do have a smoke and an HE grenade to put to use as well. And Sticko still has control of the apartments, which means that OG have a lot of angles to be responsible for all at once. They have to kind of just tuck tail and play past it. That smoke's going to isolate the player in sight.
Coming in, time is ticking away, and they've got the last 2 frags. Will there be enough time, though, once the Molotov fades? Will they die to the Molotov? They had very close 1 HP left for Sunny, and that may have been good enough to save the round, and it is! 1 HP and 9 on the 2 of them!
As FPX are now well in contention again.
A real roller coaster of a best of 3 is now going heavily in favor of FPX, at least for this round. We didn't expect a great deal with the kind of assortment of weaponry that OG had, and it's gone as well as it could have for FPX. And Nico, well, he gets wallbanged by Farlig, because why not?
Going to be a tough one to fight back from if you're OG. They're going to try to actually double back over to Banana side. Not a bad call, but look at Hayden sneaking through, catching Nico, lining up a smoke, but Valda there to cover the push for him. Gets it back to even numbers.
Oh no, and Nico's gone in with another one. How Madden wishes he had any gun, hook, line, and sinker. They traded away Farlig. This leaves it all on Sticko. Now he's got the off-angle Graveyard. Maybe this could prove to be the difference maker. As Sticko comes in, 1 kill and tons of damage onto Alexi, who's been finished off, but with 10 seconds, there's enough time for the plant. It's another 2-on-2 post-plant, though, and there is enough utility to at least fend away FPX for a while. That smoke. And they're not sure where the T's currently reside. They do have a kit. They've got a flash that's now been tossed out. They're going for it. They want this round. And it's going to cost them at least 1 player, potentially both of them. Maybe Sunny can escape.
and salvage the AK-47. But that's yet to be decided, and Orisa has made that decision.
The best they have is a couple of MAC-10s, a Tech 9, and a couple of Deagles. They do have a little bit of utility, though, and they do have the head armor, so at least they have something to work with, but they're getting crushed again at Banana.
Aggression and Madden taking the spearhead and ramming it straight into OG. He's gone down, but the damage has been inflicted. And just like that, OG, a player behind. Stiko's using that smoke as a bit of a shroud. He's hiding on tree, and this could just be the end of the half. This could be the end of the round, going the way of FPX. He's just making sure that no one's snuck up to the top of side of Banana, but he actually dies to the hands of Alexi.
They will smoke CT, but Sunny knows they're not committing. He's pushing, he's getting in behind. He finds the frag onto Issa, and it seems like things should now be back under control. Sunny's able to guard B by himself. They're able to keep their defense up with Farlick holding that angle on brackets at middle to keep intel if they're going to fall back for mid control. And so I think FPX should be good to go here for an 8th, but we'll see if Alexi or Amantu can hit a blinder here on Farlick and somehow open the round back up.
Yeah, it feels like that is the key moment now in this round. If they can deal with Farlick, maybe there's a way forward. He is watching the angle from Arches. They peek in, he nearly gets a 2 for 1. He goes back in for seconds, and he will double up. FPX will take Orthodox in terms of a retake. And keep in mind that the one kit they have is on Alexi, who's isolated by himself over on the CT side. So if he dies with the kit, as he has just done, they've got to make a move over there to pick that one up. And so much time has elapsed already that this is just completely and utterly collapsed. FPX not just take the round.
Force OG to scramble too much. They're still holding position for the most part. Now Valdez in a tricky little spot here, but he gets his man and a second. And now things are looking quite grim for FPX.
Smoke extinguishing the Molotov instantly as they desperately try to cling on to Banana control. And so far, OG have repelled the push, but they still have to contend with Farlig and Stiko.
But he was able to get some support from a flash inside to linger around and find himself a third before finally going down. Now FPX are trying to see what they can force through with their low numbers. They do find one entry here onto B, but they still have to worry about the player in the back. Looks like it's going to be Alexa B, and the clock is very much against them.
That's a great flashbang tossed in. And that finishes off Stiko, who is already low. Farlig with 6 seconds to go. If he's going to plant the bomb, he has to stick it. And he tries to draw out the players into the open. Oh, that was so close. The transition on that spray nearly took the head clean off of Man.
Little angle here towards middle. Could still play spoiler.
That's a shot he should be landing. And Zen punishes Valda. Issa straight back in. Issa has been tagged though, and it's the MP9 at this range. Good luck, Nico. You better throwing insults at him than that, honestly. Mantu in the meanwhile though does at least put down Sunny, and the AWP will rattle off the frag. Looking good. Looking very good for OG. Looking down the round and potentially only one casualty. It will only be... Yeah, Matt is certainly sending a shiver down the collective spine of OG after that beautiful 1D. Good flashbang. Allows him to bridge the gap. 2 players tripping over each other, but Mantu makes sure that the bullet does not miss. Valda burns alive. The double Molotov cooks him. But there is a good HE, a parting gift onto Zen and Sunny before the bomb plant comes in. And alongside that, Sunny
playing well. Meanwhile, you're seeing Mantu really and get away towards pit, knowing that our trap is very much a possibility, which is indeed going to be the case. He's trying to stay alive as he can. He's playing a nice little headshot angle here, and he's popping the domes of his opposition, buying time for a rotation from his teammates. And Nico, oh my goodness, Nico, he is absolutely lighting up the scoreboard. He'll do it all by himself. To pick their angles perfectly, we already know Nico's up to the task. He's already done it last round.
Issa from the very same position. And now Nico can strike and pivot in with 2 and make it 3 more kills. Yeah, as long as that's the only mistake he's making, I think he'll be fine with that. He's like, listen, lads, I just dropped 8 kills, okay? And there's another one. Make it 9. Sure, this is against the Nico. And Nico is still putting those bullets into heads. Okay, hold on. Stiko's still in this, but not for much longer. 12-12.
Angle, depending on timing, it could be huge. A pop flash comes in. He picks the perfect time. Doesn't get this kill, but he's able to do damage and get away.
Yeah, information as well, so there's going to be a fast rotation, and it keeps 3 players over on the B side. Even though Alexi didn't get kills, it was still very important. That peak was huge. And the damage he inflicted is now being collected by Mantu and the rest of the troops. Valda spray is on point, and it's looking good for OG to now take the lead in this map. Stiko may have a couple of things to say about that one, though, in the meanwhile with his AK. But he is being fended away from Valda. That will be their final destination. 45 seconds to play with. The flashbang comes out. Mantu takes the shot, falls back, draws them into Valda's fire. And the first frag is good, but both players clump together. It's awkward. And Sonny makes the most of that. He punishes them both down with a flash. HP is looking pretty dicey for FPX, but they still have the advantage in favor of OG having to push back onto the site. Both players below 30 HP. Now it's down to Farlig. They know where he is, and they've pounced. And they have kits, and they have time. PX, after looking great. Oh! And Nico has gone down to the hands of Stiko, and it's just so rough. Just when you start to feel like OG maybe can just accelerate towards the finish line. They do go down a player. Mantu, though, at least brings it back into even and goes one step further. Farlig has been dealt the fatal blow, and he nearly gets another one, but he's pushed back by Stiko.
Yeah, he went for a little bit extra there, and if he would have gotten it, it seems like that would have been maybe one of the final nails in the coffin, but getting caught gives Phoenix a chance, but Valda looking to eradicate that big kill there, and he's even able to get back. There's nothing to stop the cross except for Sonny's AK, which will be good enough.
Players is on Banana. They can hear 2 footsteps now from 2 separate players. They know exactly where it's coming from, but that's only half the trouble. And now Stiko at the back of the site, the new box can maybe lock this one down. The pre-fire is good onto Issa. An awful turn of events. Now, sure, OG only had an M4, so we can't really get too carried away about this outcome. We were kind of half expecting it. But FPX, whichever way you spin it, they're going to have a match point.
Other side, yeah, they'll get a buy, but they might have to make some sacrifices here and there, you know, to get the proper utility, so they still might not be in like a true full buy next round. And it's a scary bit. I'm not even sure they'll be able to afford not for Mantu, honestly. No, they're not going to be able to, actually. So, even with the heroics.
They were thinking about rotating a second player away, but this is coming too late. This read is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. Alexi needs to hold the line against multiple players, and he gets a kill and a lot of damage down onto Stiko. Will that be good enough, though, to remedy the situation, or is this the beginning of the end? FPX are getting more kills. The flashbang is good, and 2 players coming up. Banana lined up for Farlig, and he takes the first one down, and the second. This could be it for OG. Nico is having to somehow pull the rabbit out the hat. He's already done it once today, but under very different circumstances. He was the defender, and now he needs to be the offense. He needs to attack the site, and Farlig drills him down. FPX will take this best of 3. We'll be breaking this down and having an interview, but first, let's just get a little bit of a break to calm down. Much riddled with